So if you really want to create huge, massive results, and you're taking action here and you're taking action there, and you find out about like a really amazing training and you join in on the training, or you find out that there's this new technique that someone else is using and you take action on that, or you're coming up with this new idea, so you take action on this idea, or you decided to change to a different audience, you take action on that. It's not going to work until you have the system. So here's what it looked like for me. I had to decide what it was that I wanted and then structure my whole day around that. So I think the most powerful system that you can come up with is actually a schedule. And when I say schedule, like I don't even mean like the full, like have every single minute of your day accounted for, because like for a lot of us, having every single minute of the day accounted for is super restrictive in the worst way possible. But when I'm talking about creating a system, it's envisioning, and this is going to sound like that positivity stuff that's floating around a lot, but bear with me for just a second. Envisioning what it is that you want, who it is that you're going to become, and then creating that structure. So the client that I was working with, what I did was I asked her, number one, what are your days going to look like once you're booking all the calls that you need? Okay, so when I was doing this with myself, or like for myself in my tutoring business, I asked myself, okay, so as a successful tutor that gets clients all the time, that helps make massive leaps for my clients, what would I be doing different? So what came up for me was I had to start doing every single day just as if I already had the massive clients, because at this point I had a few clients. They weren't soulmate clients. They weren't like those clients that you're super excited to talk to and that are super excited to talk to you. So there wasn't a lot that was happening in sync. But when I looked at it, I decided that as a successful tutor, I would have to take specific practical actions, right? So I would be talking to people and introducing myself as a tutor. So this is one step you can take, right? Whatever your business is, whether you're in an online service type business or you're an in-person type service business, you need to decide to stop being afraid to own your title and introduce yourself as exactly what you are. So my name is Jimena, and I help passionate entrepreneurs create systems that make their lives simple. Or back then, when I was really focusing on my tutoring business, it was I'm Jimena, and I help parents support their kids in helping them thrive in school. So it's funny because it was the way that I got my first client that I really loved, and I wasn't expecting to get this client. I just kind of introduced myself as this and had that fear of now I'm introducing myself as something and I'm not, even though I did have clients. And there's always going to have that. They're always going to have that imposter fear no matter what point you're at. But that was part of my system. As I got more sophisticated with my system, what I did is I decided, what are my main goals going to be? This kind of came out of watching Todd Herman and Kimra Luna's live stream, where they were talking about the fact that we underestimate how much we can get done in 90 days. You can get a year's worth of work done in 90 days. So he calls it but yeah, anyways, my point was, if you can schedule every single activity around the goal that you want to have, for example, if your goal is to make 8K per month, then all of your goals, if your goal is to make 8K per month, then all of your activities have to be lined up directly with that. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. So what this looks like in practical terms is write down specifically what you want. So like for me, I wrote down 8K per month, and then I wrote down 3 projects. You shouldn't do more than 3. You should probably do 3 or maybe 2, but it should be a really small amount of projects so you can have that focus and so that you can have that power behind everything that you're doing. And once I did this, then I started to, so I wrote down my project, right? So one of my projects was back when I was doing my tutoring business more, one of my projects was to get immediate tutoring clients. And then now it's to build my website following up, to build my curiosity links following, and to get more people clicking on my site and to kind of build that. So everything that I do has to be related to that, otherwise it doesn't count towards my actions. So then the next step that I did is I created a list that every single day I add something new to it. So every single day I'll add, like, you know, for example, I picked the picture that I'm going to use on my sales page, or I had a photo shoot recently, so that was one of my things. Another thing was I set my email back up. My email had been broken. Nobody was able to respond to my emails when I sent them from my domain email. I fixed that. So all of these actions have to be directly aligned. So that means not wasting all of your time on social media. Yes, use social media. It's powerful. No, don't waste all of your time on social media. So this is the part when people get stuck pulling weeds. Like I love doing gardening, and it was something that I used to waste too much time doing. So I would sit there and I'd pull weeds, and then there'd be a naked patch where more weeds would just like start intruding and growing in. And it wasn't until I purposefully put plants that would just thrive there, plants that were evolved for that spot, that I started to see less weeds being able to put up with it, and they just kind of pushed everything out. So you have to do the same thing with your systems. Instead of trying to see, how can I stop wasting so much time scrolling? How can I stop wasting so much time in front of my computer only to come back up later and realize I didn't get anything done? The way that you're going to be able to do that is only by pushing out the bad habits. You cannot change how your action is moving forward in your business until you put new actions in place in a way that are keep flowing and keep moving forward. Those are systems for you. If you don't know where to start with a system, just start with a schedule. Just tell yourself, like, if I was successful, I would have this many hours that I'd be working with paid clients. Whatever business you're in, you would have that many hours that you'd be working specifically with paid clients. So what you do is you book that time with content creation, some kind of content creation. The next thing you do in creating your system based on your schedule is that now you have to actually stick to that time. So in your head, this has to be like client time. This is time that you're going to give to the people that you're going to be transforming, whose lives you're going to be touching, who you're going to be serving in a big way. So stick to that time. Leave that time block specifically for your clients. This way, when you talk to people, you don't have to wonder, okay, well, where am I going to fit that into my schedule? You don't have to have this kind of like uncertainty. Once you do get like that next client or that next big level client, you don't have to wonder, oh, how will that look? What happens now? And you don't have to like deal through that fear and that certainty and that struggle, because you already know you're there at that time, on time, every single day. You already know that you're going to be able to do it because you've been doing it in one way or another. Plus, the added benefit is that by scheduling this time out and using it as time to create content, you're already marketing yourself. You're already making an impact. You're already applying things. You're already creating this ripple effect. Because if you're following me, it's because you're a person that's centered around giving and creating change. Like if you're watching this, you're a person that is not going to be okay with just serving a little bit. And you're somebody that is very motivated to help. So once you put that time aside to create content and you commit to this being client time, it's going to have such a ripple effect, because now you are somebody whose time isn't kind of all over the place. That, oh, sure, I can waste time on that video. Oh, I can jump on Pokemon Go. Oh, I can listen to your endless questions without asking for the sale because I'm not busy doing client work, right? That's what would be going through your head before, but once you create the system, it's not going to be going through your head anymore. So I hope that was useful to you guys. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this. If you are wondering about what the first step you can take to start creating systems would be. Any other questions? If you want to know about one of my systems specifically, you can check them out. I posted about that on curiositywings.com, where you can check that out. Otherwise, you can go to my Curiosity Wings community, where we have a group of people that are also very centered around giving and very driven and are changing their lives while changing others. So I'm going to close on one note, and it's, if you're watching to this point, it's because you are meant to do something next, right? You watch this because you need it. So here's what your action step is going to be. You need to write down on your planner, in your journal, on a scratch piece of paper that you're going to hang on your wall, whatever it is, you're going to need to schedule out for this weekend, for this upcoming week, time that you're setting aside specifically for your next level client, for what you've been working for. So schedule time out for that client or clients, or lots and lots of clients, and stick to that time and report back and let me know how it went for you. So if you're just coming in on the end of it, you can watch the replay at my group, Curiosity Wings.